Welcome. In the incredibly fast-paced world of hospitality, leaders who can get ahead of what's coming next, well, they have a serious edge. So today, we're going to dive into how you can master two key skills, forecasting and conversion, and really learn how to turn all that uncertainty into real, tangible profit.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to all students from Europe Hotel School. You can think of me as your hotel AI expert, and I'm truly pleased to be here to guide you on this part of your online learning journey. We're going to be talking about some absolutely critical skills for modern hospitality leadership. Our whole goal here is to support your professional growth and give you the tools you need to not just survive, but truly thrive in this amazing, dynamic industry.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We've got 5 key areas to cover. First, we'll talk about anticipating hospitality demand. Then, we'll dig into forecasting and why it's more than just numbers. After that, it's all about conversion and the path to profit. We'll then look at how to combine all this data for real clarity. And finally, we'll pull it all together to show you how this gives you that proactive leader's edge.
All right, let's jump right into our first section, anticipating hospitality demand. This is really the foundation of any good strategy. Honestly, everything in hospitality starts right here. If you can get this part right, you've literally built the foundation for all your future success.
So, what's the biggest challenge we face in hospitality? It's managing uncertainty. Think about it. Our industry is always in motion, isn't it? You've got seasonality, huge citywide events, sudden shifts in market trends. It all creates this incredibly dynamic environment. So the real challenge for you as a leader isn't just managing a hotel. It's managing constant, unpredictable change.
So how on earth do we get a handle on all this uncertainty? Well, the absolute key is forecasting. And let's be super clear about this. We're not talking about some magic crystal ball here. Not at all. Forecasting is a critical strategic capability. It's what transforms that chaotic uncertainty into what I like to call informed anticipation. It's the tool that finally lets you stop just reacting to things and start preparing for them in advance.
Okay, so if forecasting is this major strategic tool, what does that actually mean for you? It means it's not just some technical exercise you hand off to the analytics team. No way. It's a core leadership competency.
And this really gets to a core philosophy we have here at Europe Hotel School. We teach forecasting as a leadership responsibility, not just a technical exercise. And why is that? Well, because a forecast isn't something that just lives and dies on a spreadsheet. It actively influences decisions in every single department. Your job as a leader is to take that data, interpret it, apply your own experience and judgment, and then turn those insights into real, concrete actions for your entire team.
And just think about the ripple effect this has in the real world. When your forecast is accurate, your budgeting is suddenly grounded in solid data, not just, assumptions. Your staffing becomes proactive, which means you're not wasting money on overstaffing, or, even worse, damaging your service quality by being understaffed. And for your sales and marketing teams, they finally have a clear, aligned roadmap to guide everything they do.
Okay, so let's say we've got a really solid forecast. We're feeling good, but that's only half the story. And that brings us to our third crucial section, conversion. This is the path to profit. It's all about actually securing the business you've worked so hard to anticipate.
Right, so forecasting paints this great picture of potential demand. It tells us what could happen, what the opportunity looks like. But here's the million-dollar question. How do we turn that potential into actual bottom-line performance?
Well, the answer lies in something called conversion ratios. And please, don't think of this as just another number on a report. A conversion ratio is a powerful diagnostic tool. It's like taking an X-ray of your sales process. It measures exactly how effective your team is at moving leads through the pipeline, from that very first inquiry all the way to a confirmed booking. It gives you this crystal clear visibility into the overall health of your sales engine. I want you to picture it like a pipeline, okay? With different stages. You've got the initial inquiry, then engagement, then confirmation, and finally the booking. Now, by analyzing the conversion rate between each of those steps, you can pinpoint the exact leaks in your pipeline. For example, are you getting tons of inquiries but not many confirmations? Maybe there's an issue with your pricing, or maybe your follow-up is too slow. Or what if engagement is great but you're just not closing the deal? Well, that could tell you your sales team needs to communicate your value proposition a little better.
And listen, this is so important. So here's the crucial takeaway. You don't always need more leads. I'll say that again. You don't always need more leads. Often, the most powerful and cost-effective way to grow your revenue is simply to get better at converting the leads you already have. We're talking about small tweaks. Even a tiny 2% improvement in conversion can have a massive, and I mean massive impact on your bottom line.
So now we have these two really powerful ideas, right? On one hand, we're forecasting demand. On the other, we're tracking how well we convert leads. So, what happens when we bring them together? Well, that's how we get the complete picture.
Honestly, the best way to think about this is like they're two sides of the very same coin. Forecasting, that's your what if. It's looking out at the horizon and estimating all of the potential demand that's out there. Conversion, on the other hand, that's your what is. It's the reality check. It measures how effective you are right now and shows you the hard truth of your sales pipeline. So one tells you how big the prize is, and the other tells you how much of that prize you're actually capable of winning.
And this is where the magic happens. When you combine them, you get this incredibly simple yet powerful formula. You just take your forecasted demand and you multiply it by your historical conversion ratio. And just like that, what was a loose estimate becomes a truly reliable prediction. This is the number you can take to the bank. This is the number you can confidently build your entire strategy around. And having that reliable prediction, that is what we're calling the proactive leader's edge. It's what allows you to move beyond just looking at data and start making those decisive, forward-thinking choices that define great leadership. When you really master these skills, you gain three huge advantages. First off, predictability. Just imagine having a clear view of what business to expect. It reduces so much stress and gets you out of that constant reactive firefighting mode. Second, you can take proactive action. If you see a potential dip in the forecast a month out, you can launch a sales initiative now to fix it before it even becomes a problem. And third, and this is huge, you get organizational alignment. That forecast becomes the single source of truth, that shared reference point that gets sales, marketing, and operations all pulling in the exact same direction. Let's make this really tangible, okay? Picture a hotel that's doing $1 million in revenue. Now, just by improving its conversion rate by a measly 2%, that hotel could add an extra $150,000 to its revenue. Think about that. We're not talking about some massive, expensive new marketing campaign. We're talking about a small, focused improvement to your existing process that delivers absolutely huge financial results. Now, of course, technology is essential here. Your CRM, your analytics platforms, they give you all the data you could ever want. But at the end of the day, they're just tools. The real value, the real magic, comes from your ability to interpret that data, to mix that analytical rigor with your own hard-won practical experience. Remember this, technology provides the information, but it's you, the leader, who provides the wisdom. So what this all comes down to is this. Mastering forecasting and conversion gives you an incredibly detailed map of the road ahead. But here's the thing, the data only provides the map. It's your judgment, your leadership that actually steers the ship. So the final question I want to leave you with is a simple one. How will you lead?